Welcome and thank you for joining us today for the Rocket Pitch Competition, launched in 2008 as a part of the inaugural Global Entrepreneurship Week. The Rocket Pitch Competition is now a staple of Bermuda's GEW celebrations, aimed to inspire, mentor, and engage the public around all things entrepreneurial. The framework of the Rocket Pitch Competition is simple. Each of our pitchers has only 5 minutes to tell the story of their business to our panel of judges and potential investors. Then, they will hit the hot seat to respond to questions. A pitch needs to be clear, straightforward, and not overly technical. The main goal of the Rocket Pitch is to eloquently illustrate your business opportunity in hopes that our judges will choose you as the top prize winner of the night to receive a $5,000 cash prize and
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us this evening. I welcome you to the 14th Annual Rocket Pitch Competition Finals. The Bermuda Economic Development Corporation started the Rocket Pitch Competition in 2008 to be a catalyst for local entrepreneurs to pitch their business ideas. Since its inception, this competition has led to over 40 businesses being launched, with the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation providing over $250,000 in funding to help get those businesses started. The Rocket Pitch Competition Finals is a signature event for Global Entrepreneurship Week, and one of many activities that the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation organizes to continue to support the development and formation of new businesses in Bermuda, created by Bermudian entrepreneurs. Tonight, you will hear from finalists in 6 categories, pitching their ideas for a chance to win startup funds and support services for their businesses. In each of the 6 categories, 2 finalists will be pitching their business idea for a chance at winning the top prize. I applaud all of them for their courage to come before you tonight to share their vision. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers and innovators. They take risks and work to bring forth the change needed and to find the solutions that in some instances we didn't even know that we needed or wanted. As a fellow entrepreneur, I understand that to turn an idea into a real business is challenging and takes hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance. All of the participants should be proud that you have taken the necessary steps to achieve your goal. You are living out the words of the great entrepreneur, Madam C.J. Walker, who said, "Don't sit down and wait for opportunities to come. Get up and make them." This competition will help you do just that. And when I think of past winners of the Rocket Pitch Competition, like Drop It Delivery and Amani's Cookie Company, it is evident that this competition does what it is intended to do, and that is to help Bermudan entrepreneurs turn their vision into reality. The BEDC has worked alongside the Youth Entrepreneurship Initiative of Bermuda for 14 years as the host committee to bring Global Entrepreneurship Week to Bermuda. As we celebrate entrepreneurship along with 180 countries all over the world. They were joined in 2020 by the newly created Economic Development Department, who provide a link between the government and related business sectors and develop networks with international business professionals and organizations. The host committee worked together to deliver activities throughout the week that celebrate and support our local entrepreneurs, and their collective commitment and teamwork is greatly appreciated. I want to acknowledge the sponsors and partners who are supporting this event tonight, and those who continue to support Global Entrepreneurship Week every year. To be successful at growing any economy, it takes public and private sector partnerships. This cooperation helps the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation to continue to provide activities and opportunities for local entrepreneurs such as this competition. As I close, I thank the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation for its dedication in growing the local economy and supporting businesses. I'm also grateful to the BEDC team who have worked tirelessly to put this event together. Jamila Lodge, the Director of Communication and Development, Kelsey Williams, Communication Development Officer, and Deshaun Simmons, Assistant Communication and Development Officer. Thank you for all your hard work and for providing this platform for our local entrepreneurs. And no thanks to BDC can go unnoted without welcoming or thanking the hardest working public servants in the government of Bermuda, and that is none other than the Executive Director for the BDC, Ms. Arika Smith, who's always in the background, but her work touches everything. As I close, I wish the best of luck to all the participants in this year's Rocket Pitch Finals, and I hope that all of you enjoy hearing the new ideas, solutions, and fresh visions that they will share. Judges, you have a very tough job tonight, but I'm certain that you're up to the task. The men and women who will come before you are the next generation of Bermudan entrepreneurs and future business owners who will help build the future of this country. And I look forward to watching and hearing their presentations with you. With that, good luck to everyone, and thank you.
We have a great lineup of pitches geared up for you tonight. There are 6 different pitch categories, and 2 finalists will go head-to-head per category to compete for a first-place prize of $5,000 cash and a second-place prize of $2,000 cash. We are eager to see how the competition goes. Let's get started.
First up, we have Youth Pitch. We will begin the competition with our youngest competitors, showing off their entrepreneurial spirit. The Youth Pitch category hosts business ideas from students under the age of 18. Let's hear from the entrepreneurs of the future.
The power of books is literally everywhere. Good evening all, I'm Marley Spriggs, CEO of Bookspace and Year 12 at BHS. I'm excited to be here tonight and tell you a bit about my business, which is Bookspace. Bookspace sells educational books to young people and also corporate sales. I'm excited about Bookspace's story. I started out in the BDC Summer Student Entrepreneurship Program with the idea of writing a novel for the 8-week program duration. However, with the weekly sales goals, I needed something more tangible. So I decided to start providing educational books to young people. And at the end, I developed the EBRC, the Extraordinary Book Report Competition, which I will refer to as the EBRC. The SSAP was a great program. I was fortunate enough to win first place, and I'd do it again. So the EBRC is a creative initiative to enable middle schoolers to not only read more, but enjoy what they read. The competition basically shortlists middle schoolers from their best book report submission, from semifinals to finals, to win real cash prizes with partners and sponsors as judges. The EBRC is vital because the concentration skills needed for reading are vital in any academic achievement. So this is in everyone's best interest. These are the competition's first selected book sets, and you can also see them displayed here today. They're all fantastic sets for ages 10 to 13, and they're all great for motivational themes. The brochure and flyer have officially launched with all participant eligibility information. The RG feature helped me get some great exposure, and I'm thankful for Heather Wood's amazing job. I've made some great strides in the competition's development. By the end of the week, all 59 3-book sets will have been allocated to all participating schools island-wide. I have a strong affiliation with the Bermuda National Library, as well as most recently, the Friends of the Library Associated charity. I'm so lucky to have great sponsors like Cohort, Helix Labs, Blueprint Hair Studio, and Miles Market. And by way of this letter, I have association with the registered charity with all the benefits while still remaining a for-profit business. Conservatively, I'm estimating 4,500 middle school students on island. I've divided my cash flow into 2 slides. The first is revenues and the second is expenses. The revenue slide projects Bookspace's book sales and competition sales over the next 9 months. It also includes corporate sponsorship in line with what I'm getting now, as well as prize money. I'm happy to entertain any questions about it. I factored in 50% cost of sales for books and 12% for freight. You can see all the expenses associated with my projected second and third competitions next year. I've also factored in money to pay for my expanded leadership team. This is how I plan to use the money if I win, to develop the EBRC and Bookspace's general sales. Now on to Bookspace's new successes since the preliminaries on October 28th. Firstly, my $1,000 order from Bermuda's Economic Development Department's Reverse Pitch Challenge was a great recent success for me. On a lighter note, Bookspace received a kind donation from Mary Davis. My dog ripped it up, but it's obviously worked out an alternative method of payment with Miss Davis, and it was very kind of her. I was happy to receive a $675 book order in care of Bermuda Center for Creative Learning, in which I delivered part of the books on Saturday. I was also a panelist yesterday in Bermuda Institute's Entrepreneurship Week event to share myself and Bookspace's entrepreneurial journey. I also gifted BI some EBRC book sets. It was a great evening. I'm thankful to have been a part of it. And I've also gifted BHS some book sets. Moving on, I look forward to more opportunities to speak to students about Bookspace and my entrepreneurial journey. Bookspace can bring like-minded students together to focus on how an expanded Bookspace team can touch many more students, to share the many benefits of extracurricular reading. Bookspace looks forward to serving its customers, partners, sponsors, and most importantly, its student leaders and young readers. Great books are at the heart of Bookspace, whether that's a book about how Patron tequila is made or the competition's next selected set. Bookspace is here to serve. Thank you. Thank you for the question. To clarify, I'm continuing with both. My general sales also support the competition, as when students, their parents sign them up, they might want different books in my other collections. They might want to buy more of the competition's books for other people. As the competition potentially expands with my leadership team, if I win, then that also supports the EBRC to get more students interested on island. In my cash flow, I detailed about how I plan to increase the EBRC book sets as I go along the second, third competition and make it a reoccurring thing. So the general sales will also continue throughout that, and I plan to expand that and have more of a variety of books as I go on, but they both positively correlate with each other.
I have a quick question. Do you think it's possible to go back, because it just went a bit quick past it, to what you intend to do with the prize money? I saw it there. But
sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's okay. Okay.
One further question. How many people are you intending to add to your team?
Okay, so here I plan to have student leaders in the schools, and I also have people as part of my student team. So my student team is making new strategies, initiatives to expand the EBRC. So that's probably around 3 people to start, 3 other people. And then for the students in the schools to get more of their schools involved and things like that, probably around 3 for that as well. And they would receive stipends. Thank you. And that's it.
Good evening. I would just like to give you all some shirts, and you can pass them out if you like. Can you all just give me a nod when you're ready? Good evening. My name is Vincent Dow, founder of Pressure Till We Perish. Envision being a teenager in 2021. Your life has almost been brought to a halt due to the global pandemic. Now you are forced to isolate yourself at home, away from your social groups. Now you must look at your social medias daily and see your peers post quotes of sorrow, disappointment, and misery. And you feel a sense of hopelessness because you know asking, "Are you okay?" certainly isn't enough to uplift them. What they truly yearn is a community of belonging and comfort. And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I am honored to introduce you tonight to Pressure Till We Perish, where we instill confidence through fashion. The opportunity that we recognize is that we are able to connect with other teens and ultimately uplift our teenagers and peers through stylish clothing. Our value proposition is that we will promote an uplifting message through garments by building that community that I talked about through our values. Our goals is to ultimately inspire and uplift other teenagers and young adults. And we look to annually donate a shirt to a student from each middle school who has shown great academic progress. So what does our market size look like and our target customers? Looking at the Department of Statistics, population projections, our target audience consists of 7,653 students, and that is through the ages of 11 to 24. And our largest group is high school students, which is 41%. With little marketing, we've been able to sell 55 shirts in less than 3 months. However, with an investment from you, we think that we can target and market to our audience on a greater scale through Instagram, YouTube, and other social media platforms, and ultimately sell more shirts at a faster rate. So what traction and progress have we made? In the short period, we've been able to determine our popular sizes of our clothing, and that ultimately, with your investment, we'll be able to stock these sizes and ultimately sell more clothes at a faster rate. We also placed third in the BEDC revenue competition. We've made our business cards, we've arranged photo shoots, and we even have explored our option to sell our clothes at Sports Locker. So how do we know that this venture will have longevity? Well, releasing our first items, we did pre-orders. So this allowed us to show that customers were interested in our products and are looking to come back and patronize us time after time again. We've also grown our Instagram page to 350 followers, and that is a big thing for us because we look to connect with our audience through these different platforms as teenagers tend to be on social media. We have also started to accept pre-orders for Christmas, and we've even sold at Washington Mall and Harbor Nights. This is some of our Christmas releases. So what risk does this venture have? Well, we do run the risk of competing with popular brands that are amongst teenagers and young adults, such as Fashion Nova, Kappa, Forever 21, and brands like Shein. What could derail us at the moment is losing customers due to long waiting periods from our printing manufacturer at the moment. So what are we doing about this? Well, with your investment, we look to purchase our own heat press and stock our own shirts so that we can speed up this process. So who is the team behind this great venture? Well, our team consists of mainly teenagers, and this allows us to connect and recognize what is popular against teens, as we're able to make that close age connection. So the team consists of myself, Vincent Darrow, who has been nominated for the most enterprising young entrepreneur, but we also have a teenage executive designer who is a prestigious art and media student. And we also have a photographer who has been taking pictures for over 5 years. And we are patronizing other local businesses by our current printer, who is Omar Smith, the current print owner of 24/7 Inc. So ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you to fly with us and help us to mold the next generation of Bermuda's gems. And this starts with you. So I appreciate if you can scan our barcode and follow us on Instagram. Thank you. I'm able to entertain any questions that you might have at the moment.
Tell us, how are you generating additional demand besides Instagram? And tell us what you're seeing from your market in terms of the demand.
I appreciate that question. And living in Bermuda, one thing that helps words to spread quickly is word of mouth. So a lot of my customers have been pleased with their products. They say the quality is good and different things like that. So I've seen customers who have actually began to share our posts as we make them on Instagram and different platforms and posting them on their own pages. But I've also heard a lot of people actually mention to me that, oh, I heard about your business, so-and-so told me about it. And that is something that I actually appreciate about Bermuda, because as a community, as a close-knit community, we talk with each other and express our views on different things. So that's another way that my business is getting around slowly but surely. And also through some coverage that I've received through the newspaper from BDC, which I'm so grateful for, and other news outlets.
Two-part. Do you currently design these yourself?
Yeah, well, sorry, I can just go back to that slide. Sorry. So I design these clothes myself, but I also have an executive designer who's also a teenager. As I mentioned, his name is Alex Zool, And so together we design the clothes ourselves.
Okay. And the second part would be, could someone design their own and go through you? Could a company?
That is actually something that I'm actually looking to do. So with the investment that I look to get from you, I look to actually buy my own heat press. And with that, I actually look to open up another service that I offer, printing other people's designs. And that can also generate me some revenue, which I look to reinvest into my business.
Is that all your questions? Where are you selling now? How are you selling?
Yeah, so currently I'm selling through our Instagram page, but I'm also on the BDC virtual market. Some people message me personally, but I encourage them to message us on Instagram to keep it professional. And sorry, I also do take orders in person. So I actually have my pre-order form that I have customers fill out their information, and then I will put it into my invoice and actually update their order.
Thanks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Right up to the deliberation room.
Try to hold it nicely.
No problem.
You got it nicely folded. You know.
After you?
Like that. Make a break.
Up next, we have the Pitch Tech category. Here you'll see finalists pitch business ideas that are related or contribute to the tech industry in Bermuda. Let's get to it.
This is what we love. Jamila, yes, please. Thank you so much. All right, let's do it. Now with my mask on now.
That's what I'm coming to do now.
Yeah, I need you being more So the other thing is also, are you familiar with the incubators that are here? The one here, I never even,
keep missing the entry time because it's only a set period of time. You can't enter it anytime. You have to enter it in the beginning of the time. And I'm not hardly here. I'm like halfway here. Because you know, and I'm like with my kids after my kids are in school. They gotta go to school.
Up next, we have the Pitch Tech category. Here you'll see finalists pitch business ideas that are related or contribute to the tech industry in Bermuda. Let's get to it.
Good day, everyone. Your time is valuable, so let's save some time. You know those situations where you have too much to do, a lot on your plate, but you only have minutes to find a solution? Flat tire on the side of the road.
You got a leaky pipe.
Maybe the yard outside needs a little work.
Roof needs to be cleaned, it's date night, mom will watch the kids, you got minutes to get to that reservation. Well, you can go on Google, Facebook, Yellow Pages, ask your auntie's neighbor's cat to find you a solution, but then, well, you have to schedule availability, if they are available. And what about the price? And if the price doesn't match, you're gonna have to do that all over again. So, what if I could tell you that your solution is only a few clicks, taps, or swipes away? Well, we present to you the General Project System, or as we like to call it,
GPS,
where you can hire reliable problem solvers ready to come to your doorstep in a matter of minutes. Sorry, scratch that. How about seconds? Here at GPS, we are building the world of tomorrow today.
Today. Every day.
We aspire to remain accessible via innovative technology that's going to provide equal opportunities for all users and stakeholders.
All right. So that's our business, but who are we? I'm Dallas Scott, the Business Dev Director.
I'm Enrico, our Marketing Director.
And I am Denaira Phil Rodriguez, the Director of Technology. That's who we are. But what have we built?
All right. So GPS facilitates the relationships between the consumer or client, as we call it, and the service provider or pro on our platform. And so much more. But what we want to know is, how does it work?
This is how it works. For both the client and the professional, all they have to do is open up the app, search for what they're looking for on the market, add what they like to their list, be it the application list or the hiring list, and then form an agreement with the other. And then things are getting done. Quite simple, huh? All of what I just described to you was a user application, of which will be available in all browsers and all devices. We've also developed an admin application to ensure that everything that is the GPS platform runs as smoothly as possible. All of this is powered through Angular, AWS, and native script.
All right, so who needs what we got?
Well, we're looking for hardworking, diligent professionals that are looking for opportunities but don't have access to digital marketing avenues. Our client is someone that has too much on their plate, needs something done right now, but is tired of the hassle of paperwork contracts. Do I pay now, later? Do I pay with my card, cash, online bank transfer? Well, we thought about all of that.
Did you know Bermuda has a 90% internet penetration rate?
That's right. 90% of us have access to or use the internet.
So if we take a look at this client side, the 40,000 approximate number, that is the total approximation of all users that we can interact with that are residents of Bermuda.
So we want you guys to focus on those two golden eggs at the bottom. 1,500 pros is our target for year one based off of the 2020 employment report for our data. And for the clients, we are looking to reach a 1-to-1 ratio of clients to professional. That is based off of the 2016 census data for Bermuda.
All right, if we look over here, we've got a heavy saturation of professionals in this area. They're looking to produce approximately 110,000 tasks per year based on 10% of their entire workload. So that will net or gross 2.6 million in revenue for GPS, as well as on our ad sales. We're looking to sell approximately 140 to 200 ad packages that will net or approximate 136,000 in revenue. So back to you, Enrico.
So I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering, or waiting for the most juicy part of all, how is the money made? Well, it's quite simple. Every transaction that goes through the platform will have a service fee and commission rate applied. Now, we look over to our ad packages. That consists of the space and time that the ad will take up on the screen, all pieced together in a couple of different options for our advertisers to choose from.
All right, so what does it take to run the show? In our first year, we're looking at incurring approximately $60K in operations costs. In order to scale and remain lean, our expansion cost is looking to be about $400,000 in expansion. So that's what it takes to run the show. But what do we need from you? What are we asking for from you guys?
We want a conversation. We want to see how you can fit into the GPS platform.
If you guys want to contact us, you can check us out on our email, or you can check us out on Instagram. Thank you guys so much.
Let's keep doing.
We can now open the flood.
Could you actually just go back to the finance slide for me, please?
Which one?
Yeah, that's one. All right, we can go to my question if you have a minute. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Great idea. Everybody's busy. Everybody needs help, I agree. My question has to do with your target audience. I noticed that you've targeted professionals, right? These are grown-ups with jobs and families and bills, etc. Is there a reason why you went for that demographic, or have you also thought about, let's say, the overscheduled student who also needs help?
So our target audience is anybody who's able to do services for another person. If you're a student, then you can provide services through the application. So we rushed over. We're going to have a screening process that we run all of our professional service providers through with different levels of verification depending on the information they provide and also their certifications and different kinds of things, so that we keep everybody informed of the decisions they're making on or through the platform. Yes.
How are you looking to support your users in the network in order for them to scale up as well? How is it scalable for that person in usership so that they can continue to grow their little small tasks?
Okay, so along with the platform and payment processing and all that, we also are developing a suite of productivity tools catered to different professionals in different sectors of the economy. So so we're looking to help streamline some of the processes that they have as well.
That, as well as we have the productivity tracking to help the professionals understand how they're doing work and how they can optimize and make their process more efficient.
One more question. You have two streams of revenue, I see. You have the marketing revenue and you also have the transaction revenue. Did you think of any other stream of revenue that you might be able to utilize on your system that would allow you to see some more growth?
Right, so we are looking at going to experiment with different revenue streams in the future, maybe subscription models or some things like that. But right now, in order for us to launch and make sure we can maintain an even, or at least maintain a break even, these are our main streams of revenue. Thank you guys for your time and attention. If we have any more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judges, my name is Quinn Outerbridge, and I'm going to show you how Playdate is going to dominate the childcare market. So Playdate is an app that allows parents to find the perfect babysitter for their child. So a little bit about me. I'm the sole proprietor of Playdate. I've been taking babysitting jobs since middle school, and it's been my primary source of income for almost 2 years. I'm connected with several families and have kept a consistently full schedule with a rapidly expanding, loyal client base due to my unique individualized care structure. Featured in the photo is my best friend and inspiration for Playdate, Shayla. She's one of the kids I provide care to. And with my full schedule, I've had to start turning down new clients and new best friends because I simply can't be in 2 places at once. But that doesn't mean that other awesome kids should miss out on the opportunity to have a great relationship with a care provider like Shayla and I. Prior to the pandemic, it was already extremely difficult to find a babysitter, whether it be short-term or long-term care, just due to how time-consuming and draining the entire process can be. Finding someone, getting to know them, seeing their qualifications, it's very labor-intensive for parents. So during a pandemic, when schools can close down at any moment, and we really need to keep our number of new interactions low to mitigate the spread of the virus, how do we find someone then? Well, Playdate currently has 3 major market competitors. We have Great Au Pair, which is not a Bermudian-owned site that anyone can sign up for, and there are no background checks or qualifications that are required to be on the site. There's Island Nanny Desk, which is a site with much more reputable management and staff, but the process of getting a sitter is a tedious one for parents, as you have to engage in email correspondence, fill out several forms, and have several meetings. And then we have Ethos Care, which is the newest and fastest way to book a sitter, but there's no comprehensive information provided on the site about their sitters other than their name and their face. Playdate is a solution to all of these issues. We are faster, we are more user-friendly, and we provide comprehensive information about our care providers and more information than all of our current market competition. And we will be the only service that's available on the island as a downloadable app on the App Store or Google Play Store. And we'll guarantee you'll be able to sign up and book within 1 sitting. So how does it work? You simply download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store to your phone, you fill out your information about yourself and your child, and then you'll be given access to a full list of our sitters with their qualifications, certifications, a video introduction, and real reviews from other parents. You'll then select your favorites, and you'll be able to book for any time or date and get matched. Playdate is a one-stop shop with chat capabilities so you can stay in touch with your favorite sitters, and there's no need to worry about that awkward conversation with pay, as all transactions will happen throughout the app. Now, how much is it going to cost to get Playdate off the ground? Well, once adding together the projected cost for app development, police checks for all employees, CPR, AED, and first aid training, and marketing, the entire projected budget is just $5,900. And once the app is developed, with as little as 10 employees working 10 hours a week, we'll have more than a return on this investment within the first 6 months. There are around 12,000 kids under the age of 15 in Bermuda, with about 600 more babies being born each year. Assuming we only reach 10% of that market, that's still over 1,000 potential customers. So, why Playdate? Well, we'll be providing valuable part-time work to several Bermudians, young or old, no matter what you're doing, and we'll be providing consistent and flexible services to parents who need it in a market that does not shrink and is in desperate need of innovation. And I have no intention of staying stagnant. In our second phase of business operations, I want to offer memberships as an added revenue stream for the business and expand the services we provide to tutoring, outings, and even partnering with other local businesses to provide unique experiences for kids. It's a fact that children aren't getting the cognitive and social stimulation that they would normally get outside of their homes due to the pandemic. And having the right sitter to engage and care for them rather than just watch them will give them a greater sense of independence and aid their cognitive development. If you have any questions about Playdate, feel free to reach out to my email at playdatebda@gmail.com. The best kids deserve the best sitters, and Playdate is the best choice. Thank you.
I don't really think it's a question. I think it's more of a suggestion. If you go back to the finance page. So if I want to be a babysitter for you, there's no sign up, registration, anything. I can just email you and you vet me.
Yes, it would be a formal vetting process.
So my only suggestion is, do you, as the entrepreneur want to take on paying for police checks for people, or would you, I'm suggesting that you allow them to pay for that themselves versus you as the business taking that on, that cost? That's my suggestion.
I think that's a great suggestion. Also, creating a platform where you create the platform where somebody can bring that skill to that platform and they resell that skill. That's where you make your money off of this process, and be able to be that booking engine for people who need nannies, which is, everybody needs a nanny who has a child at the end of the day. But think about reframing that aspect of it and making it easy for them to even register and then pay you for every booking that they would have received.
Thank you.
It's a great idea.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
The all-female crew. Woo, woo. I know, it's like women of this tacky. Yes, I love it. I love it. Let me wipe off the.
Good day, Premier.
Oh, that's like right on this edge. You have to keep going on.
Alrighty, turn back to the camera.
We went through all of that before y'all.
Turn the camera so that it's only a black backdrop, so it's like where I should be standing.
I need better lighting on me.
You know what? I need
better lighting on me.
They can see you. They can see you on YouTube.
I know. Oh, can they?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
This is all of me. Extra.
Look, Kalina's represented from under them.
I didn't know you was on my group.
Okay.
For that.
Okay, what? How come I have two?
You should have. It's two people. Everybody has.
I have three. I actually have three.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
It's double page.
Looks excellent. Absolutely amazing. Well done. Well done. So we get to go up to the boardroom. I like that. I got food in my teeth.
oh, I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
Dante was still at the bakery. He said that I was the baker.
You what?
They could hear me.
They can hear me? We good. It's all live.
Say cutie.
No, it's all real. This is real stuff. It's happening live. You can't what? You are with me. It's already happened.
Let's get ready to pitch pink. In this category, you will watch our finalists pitch business ideas that are related or contribute to the tourism industry in Bermuda. This category is sponsored by the Bermuda Tourism Authority. Can't wait to see what new tourism ideas our finalists have to offer.
Good evening. My name is Claire Ann Rayner, and I am the founder of Rose of Sharon Bermuda. I have been planning weddings and events in Bermuda for over 20 years. At Rose of Sharon, we don't just plan events, we execute visions, and we take memories and just make them last a lifetime. Bermuda has lost its place in the destination wedding market to the Caribbean, Florida, Mexico, and Europe. We have hotels and guest houses that are not full during the shoulder or off seasons, and they are not full every month during the peak season. We have banked on conventions and incentive groups to keep our rooms full and use our excursions, and they're not able to use our excursions or other hospitality industry vendors. But COVID has changed all of that because we're now able to do things virtually. Now is the time to look for a new market. $298 billion is spent globally every year in the wedding industry. The total estimated value of the U.S. wedding market for 2019 was $70 billion. But the South Asian wedding market is just behind the U.S. with $50 billion. In the U.S., the medium to high market wedding for a South Asian couple can average between $65,000 to $250,000. As a premier wedding planner for South Asian weddings, we see the opportunity to bring South Asian weddings to our island. We have very few wedding planners that understand what's involved in planning and executing a South Asian wedding. It's been our experience that others don't appreciate the importance of the different ceremonies, nor do they understand the cultural nuances that this culture has. Many couples that live in America, Canada, or England either have their fiancé or immediate family members on the other side of the pond. We are strategically placed between the eastern and western continents, where families can meet in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean to celebrate the uniting of two hearts. The average 200-person destination 5-day South Asian wedding can run upwards of $300,000. This covers rental fees for the locations where they're having their main events, food and beverages for the actual events, decor, and a plethora of vendors that are required for up to 6 or more events. This price tag does not include hotel rooms of each guest. It does not include airport transfers, food and beverages for the activities and or excursions that each family that comes will want to partake in. Can you imagine one Indian wedding can serve an investment of close to $500,000 into Bermuda's economy? Our vision is to make Bermuda the go-to destination for South Asian weddings. Our mission is to make this precious moment and make it a memory that everyone will cherish for a lifetime. Our target customers will be South Asian couples and their families or their parents. Our target market will be initially the northern part of the East Coast. What do we need? To run a company such as this, it does take a lot of equity. However, we are doing this as we speak. We have planned the most South Asian weddings on this island since 2014. And when I say the most, I mean full 5 days. If we win or should I say, should we win, our winnings will be used to update our website, market our South Asian to the magazines that they use the most, which is SAB magazine or Maharajan magazine, and then to also do some targeting marketing as well.
My question would be, is there a particular reason you're just targeting South Asia, or why not anywhere else?
Well, I have been doing weddings for Nigerian weddings, I've been doing Western weddings, and we do them all the time. Very, very, very rarely are South Asian weddings ever bought here, and they are just now starting to look because Bermuda is in between where their families are. For example, there are some family members that are in India that can't get a visa to go to the US. So we're strategically placed to be able, for them to be able to go to England to come to Bermuda. And then you have family members that are in England that can't get to the United States again for that visa reason. So because they actually, from the time their child is born, they are investing in their wedding. And one of the things where I mentioned about the nuances of culture, your wedding as a South Asian parent depicts your level in society. So they're investing in this from day one. And they're focused on the food, that's very important. The alcohol, that's without a shadow of a doubt. Even the different drinks that they have to bring in their own pandit, so they understand that they have to invest in this. I've done many where the parents who are responsible for paying for majority of the event are so focused on the food and the decor and making sure that it is better than the last one they went to, that they spend more than they had anticipated. So the investment that we can, because we have the vendors, we don't need to bring anybody in. We have the videographers, we have the photographers, we have the DJs, because I've trained the DJs to know what songs they need to play at what point. We have enough Indian chefs on this island to make the food for their people. Can I just give you a quick story? Do I have time to do that?
How quick is it?
It's 30 seconds, I promise. I worked at Fairmont Southampton, and I did one of their weddings there. And the chef there was Indian, but he lived in Canada. The other chefs that were back him, that were doing all the cooking, they were from India. And I spoke to them and I said, listen, are just as interested in serving Western food as you are Indian food. So cook your hearts out. And it was the best food that they had had. That's why I said. Anyone else?
I had two, but I'm going to pick one and say, your experience, I'm sure you've identified risks in this industry. What are those risks? And through your experience, how are you going to mitigate those risks?
So the risk that I see at this moment are I will put a lot of time in trying to go out and get the clients. So it's not a guarantee that you get them, because I am not a hotel and I am not the island. I am Rosa Sharon. And as such, I have to go and sell Bermuda. I have to go and sell a hotel. I have to go and sell everything that we have in order to guarantee that they come here. Then I have to guarantee that I get them decent rooms, and they are always looking for a deal. So I've got to go to the hotel, or I've got to go to BTA, or I've got to go to this person to get as many deals as I can. And it's not a guarantee that I'll get it, because not only are they shopping with us, they're shopping in the Seychelles, they're shopping in Cancun, they're shopping in Jamaica, they're shopping in Cayman, because they don't know they'll get those deals. Bermuda is very expensive to have a wedding here. And because it's so expensive, we have to be willing to give. So there is a big risk of me putting out so much time that it's not a guarantee that I'll get it. But once you get it, it's a bank.
how do you separate yourself? You mentioned competitors, and they operate at a lower cost. How are you? Sorry? Okay, so let me say my question then. I thought you said that. Other jurisdictions who have lower costs, Jamaica and whatnot. But how do you separate yourself and Bermuda from the competition? And I thought you said that the competition is a lower cost. So let me know what that cost looks like and where we stand, where Bermuda stands in that competitive field.
So when it comes to other jurisdictions, they are definitely lower. It is a lower airfare to get there, lower hotel rooms, lower room rates as far as booking your location, for example, where you're going to have the ceremony, where you're going to have this, where you're going to have that. All of that's a lot lower. Their vendors are a lot less, and they will haggle a lot more than we do. We are going to set specific price ranges and areas where we're not going to go down from where we have a price range where we're going to go, how far we're willing to go in order to make it worth it. Whereas in other areas, they're willing to do it just to make, even if I'm making $1, whereas we don't do that. So that's one area in regards to what's the difference in the cost factor. The other thing is that when it comes to ensuring that we give value for dollar, it's very important that whenever you give out an estimate, that you know where your price point is. They're always going to haggle with you without a shadow of a doubt. So I always tell my vendors, go high, and your bottom line is where you're going to break even. It's where you want to be, because they're going to haggle with you. So just find your price point. But yes, Cayman is lower. The airfare to get there is way less than it is to get here. Hotels in the Caribbean, and I mean, I look at when you have to go to South Asia, it takes a lot of money to get there, but the hotel rooms are way less. You could, what we spend for one hotel room one night, you could spend a whole week.
So I get that, and I want to get to the punch. So how do you sell Bermuda? How do you sell your product? Because if I'm investing in you, I want to know that you're able to utilize your selling ability, right, to sell the value proposition of Bermuda and your product. Because it's part and parcel. Yeah. So how do you do that?
Location, location, location. We are strategically placed. You find out what the dynamics are in the families. So where are the most family members located? So if they're all in Texas and California and Boston and Washington, D.C., Bermuda's not gonna really make that big of a difference. But if you've got some in the United States and you've got grandma in India, you've got great-grandpa in London, we're strategically located to be able to make everyone meet. Location.
Thank you.
I can tell that passionate about weddings. It is a big industry for Bermuda. I see some of the avenues that you plan on marketing to this market. One of my questions for you is, when you're competing against Sandals or a destination that also has the investment to put to market to this group, you're looking at updating your website and then focusing on these magazines. How do you stand out in the sea of sameness to get in front of them to even tell our story?
It's going to be very slow. That's the reason why, if I may move to the next slide, projections right now are for 6 to 8 weddings. The more weddings you do, the more you will end up on the top of those Google lists. When they start to Google destination weddings, you'll see Bermuda come up. And as long as we tell our vendors and the videographers, listen, I need you to do me a short 30-second or 90-second VMO so that this can hit the internet, so that when people are Googling South Asian weddings in Bermuda, ours pop up first, so that we will be there and they will see not only our beautiful island, but our people and our vendors and what we can do. So we just have to work together as a team. Now, I'm hoping that as time goes on, people will see exactly what this is all about and want to partner with me. But if I can't get that, I'm going this road either way.
Okay. Perfect. So I guess the last question I was going to ask you about the projections, but they're up here now. But just more for clarification, how Is it just you on the team, or do you have
a team of 7? And then as we need, we do bring on other teammates to be able to work with us. We have trained a lot of young people to be in our industry, and we teach them, okay, I need you to be dressed this way, you need to be here at this time, this is what you're going to be doing, nobody's to be on their phone, I need you to be present and focused. I'm very strict and dictatorial about those things. And because it's not just who they see here, it's my name. 20 years of killing myself in the wedding and events industry to get it to a place where I'm not going to allow anyone to discredit my name and my integrity. And secondly, it's Bermuda. So they've got to learn to take pride in their own country, because they're not only going to be showing me and Rosa Sharon, but they're showing Bermuda. So that's very important. Any other questions?
Thank you very much. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, when they picture us, we got a whole bunch. I still got some, right? That makes it natural. Oh, my big jaw.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cassandra Roberts, and I'm the founder of Pink Sand Sanctuary. Have you ever wanted to see sea turtles in the wild? Have you ever wanted to view sea turtles in their natural habitat? Apologies. Here we go. How about being a part of a turning point for conservation on our small island, or even being involved with a new form of ecotourism? There is a lack of wildlife rehabilitation sites in Bermuda. The only place we have is the Bermuda Aquarium Museum and Zoo, and hereforth will be known as BAMS. The facility is lacking in dedicated space solely for wildlife rehabilitation. And the space they do have is fighting for room with the exhibit fish that they have. And they do not have enough personnel to care for these animals when they are bombarded. The area I propose for this new site is the 9 Beaches Hotel. Now, this once pristine hotel is now in ruins. It is an eyesore. It has squatters, and their huts are falling to bits and polluting our oceans. We also have jet skis and boat tours that go through the area, threatening the wildlife. And I've heard several tourists and Bermudians have stated that it's very difficult to see turtles in the natural environment. But I will warn you, the next slide does have some graphic details. These pictures might not be pretty, but it is reality. Just take a good look at the hotel, for example. The crumbling huts that are waiting to be turned into something magnificent. And I have personally seen how some of these animals walk through the door, suffering. Most of them come from the west side of the island, Dockyard, Daniel's Head, just to name a few. So I propose a solution, or a couple of them actually. Having a rehab center on the west side of the island, closer to their natural habitat, and in turn getting these turtles to be helped faster. Other solutions that the huts will be actually refurbished into turtle viewing huts where guests can come and pay and see turtles in their natural environment, turtles that we have helped and released. This will create ecotourism and clean up the coast at the same time. Old Bermuda House that's there will actually be turned into an education and visitor center, so guests can come down, learn about the ocean, and even book tours to come see the rehabilitation center. This itself will create jobs for Bermudians, as well as working hand in hand with projects that are already running, such as the Marine Nature Reserve. This will appeal to those who are interested in wildlife, interested in turtles, animal lovers, those who want to learn more, and even just those who want to see what rehabilitation is about. This will also interest private companies, regular companies, and private sponsors, as sponsoring a company like ours would look good on their portfolio. Other forms of revenue would be donations, the turtle huts, as well as visitor center and tours of the rehabilitation center. I have over 9 years of working with the Bermuda Aquarium Museum and Zoo. 5 of those years have been working in the rehabilitation center itself, so I know what I'm talking about. 2 of those years I worked at the Bermuda Turtle Project. I also have sponsors and support from Jennifer Gray, who is the director of the Bermuda Turtle Project, and Dr. Ian Walker, who's the curator of BAMS. But also with my networking, I have other traction everywhere else, like Michael Gladwin, who is a tour boat operator. He does tours around 9 beaches and actually supports having that space safe for our wildlife. Along with that, I do have educators and other connections, such as vet tech, like my best friend Kyla Roberts. I also have veterinarians, tour boat operators, as well as rescue boat operators who will be willing to help me out, as well as other volunteers who are really more than happy, who are passionate to lend a hand. I do have a couple risks. Every idea does have a couple risks. I do have a major competitor. The BAMS is actually a major competitor. They're already established. They do have government funding. But they are focused on their exhibit animals. Unfortunately, the government is not really too much keen into having that as a conservation status. But they do not have dedicated just to wildlife rehabilitation. Other factors is obviously if I don't have the leasing opportunities for 9 beaches, it won't derail me. I will start smaller. I will help BAMS as a wildlife rescue responder. And doing that will progress into a place of my own. My mission is to provide top quality safe space and rehabilitation to wildlife on the western side of the island. This is something Bermuda needs. Thank you. Any questions?
I'll kick it off. I love it. I'm an animal lover. I have a dog and 2 cats. I have a zoo, a baby zoo at my house, and all they're here to show for it. But look, I love this. But you know, when I look at this, I'm thinking about the expenditure that's required to operate, for instance, BAMS.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking millions per year. Yeah. And all the staff. I know you have the support that you've talked about, but this is what I would call loose support if I was to put something like this together. Firm support is contracts. It's, you know, that sort of signing. I also heard that you have some persons that would put some money in and support from a funding perspective. I would dare to say maybe you're in the infancy stage, but correct me if I'm wrong, I open it up, in terms of building this idea.
Yes, it's definitely in the infancy stage, and that's why I wanted to progress to be on an experience like this. I would say that yes, funding will help build it, but even just having the word out there helps recognize that there is a problem that we need to fix in Bermuda. So the funding would be fantastic, and yes, I can build on that. I do have my own funds saved. I have over 10 grand saved to help bring up with the 5,000 or 2,000. Either funding is fine, and if like I said, with the leasing, to fix that or to mitigate that, there's always other opportunities around the island. It doesn't have to be 9 beaches, but 9 beaches I think would benefit more. It would not just benefit my opportunity, but it would benefit theirs, as just having the huts around is a problem with squatters and just pollution. So to mitigate that, there are other opportunities that I can seek forward, but this is something that I think will benefit both me and the lease of 9 beaches.
I have so many more questions, but I can't. Address back. Go.
You can always send me my email if you need to.
Well, like Dante said, I love turtles. I actually had one in the office for a very long time. My question to you would be, what would be the minimum cost that you would need your startup cost to get you going?
So the minimum cost would be about $150,000, and that is just so I can help build the huts, as well as for the leasing, for the rental agreements, building up tanks, and even licensing a boat, as well as possibly a truck for land transportation. So $150,000 would probably be around the ballpark.
Good. So I guess the concept I see is a build it and they will come. But can you give me an idea of the market size for this? I mean, I have 2 animal lovers on my left, but how many people are actually interested in coming to Bermuda and look at turtles?
I currently work at Dolphin Quest, so I do have tourists coming in even off the cruise ships like, hey, where can we see turtles? So it's not just the locals who tell me, oh, I haven't seen a turtle, until I was 30 or something like that. So this is also a marketing not just for locals, but tourists coming off the cruise ship, somewhere where if the cruise ship is parked in dockyard, if they don't want to go all the way to the aquarium, it's something close by that they can still see turtles either in the wild or in the rehabilitation center. And we also want to educate them as well, so when they go back home, they can say, hey, this is what Bermuda does, and they pass on. So basically, I don't want to just reach locals, I also want to reach tourists from planes, from boats, and things like that. So that is my market size. It's global, but it is niche, yes. So more like tourists that want to come and experience it, but then you also have those who love animals, who actually want to see what rehabilitation is like. Because the BAMS Rehabilitation Center, you have to get a group, and it's very almost private, but with us we will be open to the public. You can come in and take a tour and just learn. So yeah.
I don't think you got a chance to talk about this, just pricing models. You said $150,000 will cover huts, leasing, tanks, boats, and then there was some mention of a visitor center and then tours. What is the revenue model? Other than this competition in your savings, it's a little bit of ways away from $150,000. Where is the additional revenue going to come from? What is the price points for these tours and just other revenue streams?
Yes, so the tours itself, I estimated about $25 per person for the tours. And that is a lot of, for, like I said, the revenue that's coming in. The visitor center would be almost like a gift shop and education, so we can have groups coming in, like school groups, and we could do a little education price point. As I was saying, it's a very infancy stage, so the funding is still building. This is something that I have been passionate about for several years, and just taking this step even tells that, whoever's watching and even you guys, that there is a problem that needs to be fixed. And there are other groups out there that are as passionate as I am. Some of the government wants to make marine nature reserves, so there is funding out there. And a lot of people don't know that this is a silent problem. So having this out there, out in the public, out in the open, there will be people coming in hey, now that I know this is an issue, I want to support you. And it will build, and it might even go alongside the marine nature reserve aspect that is currently going on. Yeah.
Perfect. So I definitely agree with probably everybody. We all love turtles. I worked on tour boats for many years, so I definitely saw a lot of the problems, especially off the West End. When it comes to 9 beaches, it is a very particular location, but have you thought of any other sort of backup locations and any, because I would assume that it does need a lot of infrastructure to support this. Have you thought of any other locations?
There were a couple more locations closer to Dockyard. There are a lot more like offset by Gray's Bridge. They have that like little shoot for something for a small buildup, and then we can progress further into a bigger setup. But with 9 beaches, I think, like I said, it was the most perfect situation because it helps benefit them, and they do have already infrastructures in place. So we're not building from the ground up, which cuts costs quite nicely. With some of the huts, it just needs to be checked, inspected, refabricated or wood, depending on which one is cheaper in cost. And then you have the old Bermuda house that's already there, which is, the infrastructure is great, and it just needs that extra oomph or build on for the actual rehabilitation itself.
Well done.
Put it down.
Yeah, and don't forget your phone.
You guys are cheap.
Listen, help us out.
Take a pen?
We forgot.
I shared it.
We have a difference in yes. Oh my gosh, Ray Jones is here too. Put on my mask. That was clearly action already.
That's good.
You got to take this.
I was beyond excited. Oh boy, Doc, you got people helping you out.
Is that all right? Oh, okay, cool.
Supposed to keep this while I'm sitting there? You're supposed to keep these masks while I'm sitting there?
No, I think sitting should be okay.
We got the right group. So we got the right group. If we can take them out.
In this category, the finalists will pitch business ideas that have minimal negative impact on the global or local environment, community, society, or economy. These businesses should be focused on operating in a way that is sustainable, eco-friendly, and zero waste.
The year 1505, the man, Juan de Bermudez, found Bermuda by accident and intentionally left a pair of mating Spanish hogs for others. 1 century later, Sir George Somers was very grateful for the first agricultural harvest. In the early 1900s, Bermuda produced enough food to export it to the eastern seaboard. And our heyday came in the 1960s, where we saw some 900,000 gallons of fresh milk produced and 2 million dozen eggs. Fast forward to today. Less than 50% of our agricultural land is in production. We've gone from 4 dairies to 2 last year. Our one piggery sent its last 3 pigs to market. I put to sleep the last commercial carriage horse in July. Bermuda imports 98% of everything we consume. Growing food is a critical skill we are losing as a nation. The year 2020, the man, our premier, the Honorable David Burt, had a brief conversation with me, and he said, we have 6 weeks supply if we were to shut down our ports. Supply of food. 2 weeks later, COVID hit, and Bermuda shut down. We were self-sustaining in 1960s. We can get there again. Good evening. I am Dr. Suzanne Smith, a veterinarian and the founding member of the Bermuda Agricultural Group Heritage Collective. We were founded in 1996, and we established ourselves at Tudor Farm in Southampton. Our core group of 5 spent 25 years teaching children and our Bermuda youth all about agricultural principles. We did it through summer day camps, and we also had our community garden, which served the Western schools and all of the surrounding communities. The collective is a producer hybrid co-op of entrepreneurs who freely teach their skills to students in exchange for free farm space. Tiered percentage of our revenues generated would go to paying for a manager, as well as maintaining our farm buildings and grounds. Sustainable food, or I should say, sustainable food security is not just a catchphrase. We believe in empowering Bermudians such that they will choose nutrition-rich foods and they will consume everything that we produce as a nation. We use an integrated farm management approach or agroecology, which will include our economy as well as our engaging our community and all aspects of farming. We are a self-funding co-op with 3 primary revenue streams. First, student fees. For example, 12 students paying $1,200 per quarter would generate $57,600 annually. 12 partners paying a 10% of their earnings by year 3 would contribute to us. And third, partners paying a membership of $50 each month for a year would generate $7,200. Our first entrepreneurial initiative is to rear calves, which are byproducts of our dairy industry. Male calves will be raised for beef.
guess I'll start.
Sure.
Just a quick question about space. You said in the 60s, obviously, we were producing enough to sustain our entire population. Over those years, there's been a lot of development, housing complexes and whatnot. Is there enough space to actually grow enough food for the current size of our population?
There is enough space in planters and people using even their lawns. There are a lot of lawns that are not being produced. And as far as animals are concerned, there is intensive farming. And intensive farming meaning more animals can go in a smaller space. And yes, there is space. I would make one point. A lot of people don't want to have animals around them because they believe it smells so much. But the management of animals, if they look at the modern management, yeah, it would be better.
Okay, so I'll ask a question. Sure. You probably didn't get a chance to cover this. You mentioned that you're already been operational. Yes. So as part of this presentation tonight, what were you looking for in terms of funds, and what would those funds be used for?
Thank you for asking. $5,000 will go towards farm lease, long-term farm lease. We'll be able to rent the land for about 10 years. That's our intent.
I understand at some point that there was a threat to Tudor Farm, and there were the possibility of something else happening there.
That's correct.
Has that threat now been removed?
Yes, our group was very instrumental in making sure that no commercial entity, in terms of construction, would come and destroy the land. Yes, definitely.
I have a question.
Yes.
Following up, fellow panelists, is there any other operational costs outside of the $5,000 for the lease?
Oh, most definitely. We think that we have about $40,000 initially to get all of the building the supplies that we need for the animals, the food for the animals. In addition to that, there will be general overhead, like electricity, that sort of thing. Food for the animals, yes.
I have a question in reference to the farm lease. Initially you said that people would be growing the crops and planters, but the farm lease, where is do you have a space already?
Okay. Mr. Tyrrell's question was in general, meaning Bermuda. But what we would like to do is definitely lease a farm here in Bermuda, and that is where the lease would be. And most of the farm spaces are owned by government. And Tudor Farm is one of the places where we'd like to.
Do you have any contracts already out there?
Contract for a lease? Not at the moment, but we have asked. We have put in a proposal, which you have a copy of. All of you can take a look at our proposal, and you will see that we have submitted that to government. The Department of Works and Engineering has received that. And the Department of Agriculture, the Agriculture Board have also had a copy. Yes.
Any further questions?
Thank you.
Bring that one to one side of it, around here.
Here.
Yeah, you
Bring
got
it over.
the other one.
Bring it back in my ear. No, this, that's all, yeah.
There you go, right.
Think back to the first time you put a mask. Oh, sorry. I was so excited.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Think back to the first time you put a mask on, looked underwater, saw the vibrant corals filled with colorful fish. Maybe you don't like snorkeling. Think about that mouth-watering fish sandwich you buy at Cut Match. Or just think about everything that the ocean gives us. Now let's time travel just a few years into the future when headlines read, Bermuda's ocean biodiversity has been depleted due to lionfish. Plastic debris is everywhere. The oceans are no longer what we once knew and loved. And guess what? No fish sandwich. Hi, my name is Abby Brewer, founder of So Brew. My passions for art, business, and environmental activism all came together last year when I started selling hair accessories made from upcycled materials, calling attention to the negative impacts of the fast fashion industry. But I believe that no one environmental issue can be tackled in isolation. Everything is just way too interconnected. So Brew expanded into the production of lionfish rings. Lionfish rings are currently in the growth stage of the product life cycle. I make rings out of the fins and tails of speared lionfish in unisex sizes from 5 to 11 with half sizes in between. We sell them through a multi-channel distribution. Check us out on Instagram at So Brew, and through our intermediary, Making Waves. Oh. There, okay. As you can see, we have the sales data here, and since we started selling rings 4 months ago, we've sold almost 100 so far. Through collaborating with other Bermudian vendors, we found a low-cost way to offer our products in a brick-and-mortar store, reaching a broader target audience and offering multiple payment methods. And to scale up from here, we're currently considering working with the Work Academy Eco Club to get local student volunteers involved and learning about how they can use creativity to find problems to these complex environmental issues. We've also started selling internationally with orders being placed in the US and Canada. And since there's more issues to tackle, our next phase of expansion is into plastic recycling. Since Bermuda currently does not recycle plastic, and it's a crisis worldwide, we have connected with an international company to openly source everything that we need to build machinery and recycle multiple types of plastic here on the island. Everything we do revolves around innovation and sustainable practices. We hand make everything locally, emphasize being as close to zero waste as possible. I spent about a year in R&D trying to find the most innovative way to make something fun out of lionfish. And we believe that if you want to stay up to date with innovation, sharing your ideas and working together with others is key. And we're even in the early stages of a collaboration with Bermuda Glass Revival to try and recycle the absurd amount of waste here on the island. So to start the plastic recycling expansion, it's an initial setup cost of around $5,600. And from there, the key factor resources, plastic waste, should come at little to no cost. And then we can make an array of products, ranging from sunglasses to bowls to clipboards to even blocks that you can build with. And on the other side here, we have lionfish rings, which have already broken even, with little to no fixed or variable costs, a selling price of $20, well, $14 to our intermediaries so that they can still benefit. We are already profitable at around $1,300. So summing up some of the positive social factors, we can involve local student volunteers, we collaborate with other Bermudian vendors, and hopefully create future employment opportunities as we're scaling up, producing more and more lionfish rings, and also into the expansion of plastic recycling. We'll be looking to hire positive, creative environmental activists, and hopefully just inspire others to live more sustainably. So I would now ask you all to pull out your phones, type in so_brew on Instagram. Follow us and DM me with your ring size if you would like to be entered into a surprise draw. And thank you to everyone listening for your valuable time. If you would love to see Bermuda's oceans stay beautiful with lots of fish and none of that plastic washed up for years to come, then please do not hesitate to reach out to me either through Instagram, through email, or just stop me in the street if you see me.
My question is, you say you have orders in the U.S. and Canada. What is your strategy for export?
Well, currently I'm still at school in Canada, so also to minimize the carbon footprint, because obviously shipping from Bermuda is not ideal and everything would have to go via airplane. Well, it's just not ideal. So every time that I go back to Canada, or let's say a trip to the U.S., I will take as many rings as I can with me as possible, or I usually have the orders placed in advance, so I know at least how many I need taken to take back with me to give to existing customers, and then also to market from there, saying I have this amount of rings, like who would like them, and then from there it's way cheaper. I can use the Canada Post or the US Post at very little cost, and then obviously that'll be the shipping cost, which is then put onto the consumers. Thank you.
I have a question. What is the process of making these rings?
So yeah, also I have 2 rings here if you would like to pass them around. I'll start them up. So the process, I have all the molds basically to accommodate every size, as I mentioned, and then I get the fins. I have my spearfishing license myself, and also I try to involve as many of my friends as possible, and anyone that I know in the lionfish culling community in Bermuda, because the whole point of SoBrew is we want to promote the demand to cull them, since obviously they produce at such a rapid rate that we need to get them under control. And then, so from there, I take the fins and the tails, I dry them out. I can store them as well in the freezer, so if, let's say a lot are caught on one day, they can be stored and then turned into rings a few days later, or weeks, or however long. And then I cut the fins into smaller pieces and fill the molds, and then use an epoxy resin on top to harden them.
So do you catch them primarily yourself, or?
Both, whenever I go out or snorkeling or anything like that, I'll obviously have my stuff ready and hope that I can get them. And then a bunch of my friends also just know about it, and they'll give it to me. Other people just in the lionfish culling community who have heard about it will say, hey, I caught some today. Need any more fins? Drop them off. Things like that, yeah.
So I have a question about the plastic recycling. For about $6,000, it seems like a very low investment to kind of solve the problems that we have on the island. Is your plan to, and this is what you said, to actually create new items from the stuff that you recycle, or are you trying to find somewhere else to, I guess, get rid of the recycling material?
Yes, so my plan would be to create new items here from them. So the cost outlined is for a basic machinery set. So you could, I would get 3 different types of machinery. So extrusion, a press, and then also the one that just heats it up. And then we'll make it into a liquid form, which then you can pour into any mold basically that you want. And obviously there's the company that I've connected with has different levels, so you could start out with the basic machinery and move up from there, and obviously it'll get more expensive as you move up. Thank you.
Any further questions? Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, this is we can move up to the deliberation room. You can take your baskets.
These are ours.
Yes.
Is this for us?
They said take it.
This was for us?
We'll take it.
Made some pumpkin soup from the beginning.
She said it was animal.
Eggplants, I guess.
Fertilizing the ground.
Yep.
This chair is deep. I feel real shook. Oh, I see. Hi, Andrea. Put something on my face. Like, my nasty.
Up next, we have Pitch Town. In this category, finalists will be pitching general business ideas that contribute to Bermuda's local economy. The field is broad. Let's see what great ideas our finalists will be presenting.
Everybody sees you. Yeah.
Good break. Good booty practice. Okay.
Oh, good evening. I'm Deidre. I'm Aruna.
And I'm Gavin. Thank you for this opportunity to tell you a bit about Good Job, our business that we would like to win in Rocket Pitch 2021. Good Job began with this symbolically. This paper bag was our light bulb moment. It started back when my little girl was about 12 years old, and she was so excited to get a job. She wanted to work like a big girl does, and we couldn't really figure it out. Her mother and I were trying to find a way for her to get a first job opportunity, and it was a real struggle. Finally, we actually get her a shot packing groceries at a grocery store, and she comes home her first day, and she's like so excited because she's made more money than she's ever made in her life. And also, there's this strange thing of her being frustrated that she wasn't making all the money that she thought she could get. So what she saw was that people that were paying with credit cards were not tipping because they couldn't. This was the cornerstone, this is the germ of an idea that became Good Job. So upon that, we went into this mode of figuring out like what are the other things laying around with regard to first job experiences. We want a better youth employment and management. We want a better way for tip-reliant jobs to get access to those tips in an increasingly cashless economy. This is what led to the Good Job mission, which is to pack entry-level work experiences with training, tools, and resources that help to increase the earnings, opportunities, skills, and employability of Bermudians. Now, you've heard all that, and it's like, well, what exactly is Good Job? Well, Good Job is a youth-focused workforce training program, financial empowerment program, and a seamless payment processor.
Good Job has 3 customers, a youth or tip-reliant worker. We define this as someone who is in a job that depends on tips or cash for their pay. Many times they have entry-level jobs. These are the good jobbers. who will get workforce training and financial empowerment workshops and get increased earnings through our digital payment process. Our launch market for this customer is grocery packers, the shoppers. This is all of us. We are paying for the service that fills the pockets of the good jobbers. From Good Job, they would receive a higher quality service, as well as ways to digitally tip a good jobber. Our launch market for this customer is grocery shoppers. Then we have employers. These are businesses and organizations who need good employees. They would be able to provide a higher quality service to their customers. The launch market for employers is grocery stores. So what do we know about these customers? With about 160 packers in stores worldwide, our data shows that a single packer earns up to $324 per week, which is $51,480 per week as a whole economy. Good Job will increase these earnings by at least 40%. This increase comes from quality increase, but also from Good Job's digital payment process. Shoppers. 75% of shoppers pay for groceries with their card. Yet shoppers that pay with their card only tip cash 47% of the time. Good Job research shows that most shoppers pay over $100 when they go to the store. Well, one grocery bag is worth approximately $50 worth of groceries. 67% of shoppers report feeling bad when they don't have a tip for their packer, and we've all been there. This translates to we need packers and we need our entry-level workers. Good Job defines grocery stores as any grocery store that has 2 or more cash registers and uses packers daily. Now, young adult unemployment was 18% in 2019 and jumped to 32% in 2020. We are all invested in Bermuda's growth and development, and the entry-level workforce needs and deserves more.
We only need a quarter of the current packer population to meet our basic operational needs, and we anticipate the population increasing once Good Job raises the profile of the job. And we've already begun to make some connections. We're talking with a local payment app developer, having conversations with grocers and banks, and are also Ignite alumni, so have access to that network and resources. All of this is getting us ready for our first 3 months, for which we require about $30,000 to cover the cost of staff, marketing, and business setup. We don't know everything, but we have thought about some challenges, the what ifs, if you will. Here are some examples of those for which we expect people to be the best solution, and we are the good people.
With our history of working together as a dynamic team, delivering various projects at various scales throughout the years, we trust and know that each other has what it takes to make sure this project comes to reality. We want you to give us a give Good Job the rocket pitch win for 2021, because Good Job will use this critical startup capital to incorporate and establish the business.
Good Job will use the rocket pitch platform to intro and prep the market for launch.
Good Job will hit its targets with the support of the BEDC network, resources, and partnerships.
Help Good Job to make sure every Bermudian fresh job is a good job.
Any questions or comments? What do you want to see the thing? That's a demonstration of what our Good Job package will look like on the job.
I have a question. So some grocery stores have already started to kind of solve a little bit of this problem by giving the grocery packers gift cards in order to receive tips. How does Good Job differ from that?
Well, those cards that the grocery stores use, those cards can only be used at the store. So in actual fact, the packer who gets money on that card does not have the control over that money because they can only use it at the store. So we are giving the packers their money. No offense to the stores, but that's the process and how it works.
A lot of the packers count on this money for either supplemental income for their households or for like goals like bikes and their education. So if it's being kept in the stores, it doesn't allow them to do what they want to do with their money to actually build their own financial empowerment.
I may have missed it. Good evening. How are you making a profit off this? I didn't see that in the slides.
A portion of the packer earnings will be retained to cover our operational costs. Okay. So we're still working on what the percentage is, but we're looking at probably young people earning 75 cents on every dollar, and then the 25 cents left over will go towards our operations, as well as access to all of the financial literacy and customer service training. So as being a good jobber, they have access to a plethora of workshops, and a portion of we will pay for that. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Which leads me to think, one of your challenges you thought was maybe stores didn't want to join. But is the challenge that the packer may not want to join because you're actually going to take a quarter of their earnings?
Well, I mean, these are earnings, the digital earnings that they wouldn't be getting otherwise, because even when they're using the gift card, the money is retained by the store. So we're, confident that 75 cents is money that it's phantom money. So it's 75 cents on the dollar is better than zero.
In addition, we're looking at creating partnerships. So when we were looking for our banking partners, it's going to be about creating products for them to actually have long-term investment options, both as a group and as individuals, so they can actually really maximize their potential, because they're not used to getting this money anyway. But by them being able to have it straight into their accounts, it'll actually allow for them to manage it and plan it out.
How is this money tracked to the packer?
So we have, as it stands right now, we have two options. We, as Good Job, will become a vendor in an existing POS system at whatever business it may be. So we actually, if you pay with your card, you become a line item on the receipt. On the other side of that, yes. On the other side of that, we actually are partnering with a newly to be released mobile wallet service in Bermuda for Bermudians. And I don't want to say too much about that because, what it might be. But essentially, we would be on the app as Good Job, and the money goes through Good Job, and we disseminate into youth presence.
They get paid for the hours.
Yeah, so once, they'll be tipped, like they'll have an individual QR code, but when this is scanned, it will go into the larger Good Job account, and then we would disseminate the funds down to them.
Based on their work, the work that they do.
I have to say, I love this because I am always the person who does not have the tip, and I feel so bad. I say, I'm gonna come back. Are you here till 4? So I mean, you totally saved my life. You make me feel better. Is there a way for you to extend this outside of grocery stores? The
exciting thing is that a part of this partnership is giving us the opportunity to get into other arenas. Gas station attendants, beach staff, anywhere where there's a tip that's happening, and particularly with young people that don't really get compensated very, very much at all. This will create that opportunity for them to get it straight into their accounts. And also kind of teach them about digital currency as well, particularly with the app.
So I just have 2 questions. Do you have any grocery stores that are interested in using this product that you've already talked to? And then what is the process if I was a packer and I wanted to become a Good Job? But what is the process to become?
We do have a grocery store interested right now. I don't feel at liberty to say, but yes, we do. And secondly, the process, generally speaking, is you approach Good Job, say, I want to get some skilled training, or I have a job and I'm not getting paid as much as I really could be. And you come to us and we go through the simple sign-up process. There will be some mandatory training right in the beginning, which is basic, just financial literacy, being an employee 101. And then you can go on from there and have access to more training and workshops, and once you're set up within our system, it's a set deal.
And how do I identify a Good Job at a grocery store to be like, you know what, I do not have the cash, but I'll go to this deal because I know I can tip you with my card?
Yeah, so Good Jobbers, as you can see, we're all headed out here, but Good Jobbers will have individual badges that will have their codes on them, and
swag.
So swag. They'll be noticeable. That's the most important thing. It's about the customer experience. If they don't know that, they're not going to get paid. So we have to let them know.
And then, you know me, I'm always thinking of ways to extend money outside of just this. So what else, I suggested that maybe you guys got a grocery bag that I can buy from you, so a reusable grocery bag so people can identify Good Job outside of just going to one grocery store. Where did you get that bag? Oh, I got it from Good Job. So just think of other ways to extend your revenue stream just beyond taking percentages from the packets.
On the previous slide, we actually added merchandise because of that
suggestion, because we weren't really thinking about merchandise for sales as a revenue line, just as marketing. But you were right, and really a big part of the Good Job sort of brand and ethos is to make Good Job a term for good work. It's already used, and people drop it once they hear about it. It's like, hey, good job, good job. But once it becomes actually a sort of a certification process, once it becomes an association with the training programs that we're going to be rolling out, it becomes a lot more intentional.
So the revenue's coming in from commission, and the kind of the startup costs that are needed. Is the anticipation that there is enough revenue to cover those costs, and or when is your break even?
Counting on the Rocket Pitch to be the baseline, because we haven't actually gone out to seek funding for it yet. We've been getting through the Ignite program. We just finished our cohort, our 6 months of sort of development there. But we don't have the 30K. So if anyone out there in the universe is looking to assist Good Job in investing in something that's going to really change the culture and help to really maximize Bermudians' potential, we're open for business.
Yeah, and like based on our observations of what young people are earning now and the percentage that we are looking to retain, we will need, like I said, about a quarter of the existing population. So if there's 40 Good Jobbers working 15 hours a week, that will cover our course
operations. Yeah. And it's exciting, trust. It's like, it's dope.
Yeah.
So.
All in all, I think it's a great idea, just to be honest with you. I think it will work.
Another question?
Thank you, guys.
Because I would have sent it to all our parents. Trust me, we would have won. I did it. You know, for him, he's not even in it like to win money or anything. It's really just recognition because everything he does is for them kids. Yep. He would give lessons. Okay, I'll talk to him. I'll give it to you. Thanks.
Ready? Click. Hi, I'm Micheline, CEO of Uplift CBD Company, and this is my sister, co-owner. Does anybody here know what CBD is? CBD is a cannabinoid found in the marijuana plant. It can also be found in many other plants, such as sunflower, kava, just to name a few. CBD does not get you high. It is non-psychoactive, and it is legal in Bermuda. I had my life all planned out. I became a nursing assistant, and my plan was to pursue nursing. But then the pandemic hit, and I got COVID not once, but twice. I used up all my sick time and holiday time, and I was suffering from severe headaches. After some research, I found CBD, and I loved it. It was the only thing that really helped. That's when my passion for CBD fired up. I soon noticed that there was a big unattended market gap in Bermuda. People seek either improvement or health-enhancing experiences. But so far, CBD is only being offered in limited stores here. What about the rest? What about a place that encompasses it all together? I introduced my sister to the idea, and she loved it.
Throughout our research, we found that Bermuda did not have the CBD activities that other jurisdictions have and are successfully exploiting. After meetings with the head of narcotics with the Bermuda police and the customs officers, that's when we got to work. The CBD worldwide estimations predict over $50 billion by 2028 and growing at a rate of 50% thereafter every year. Yet in Bermuda, no one offers a way to experience CBD. We have two revenue streams, in-store product sales and experiences. Since the experiences will involve the purchase of our CBD products, that will boost even more the first revenue stream by synergy. As to our target market, we have broken them down into two tiers. The first tier will be our 21 to 35-year-olds. Those are what we call our CBD pioneers. The second tier will be our 36 to 49 years old. Those will be our future consumers after the early adopters. The CBD industry is valued at $3.6 billion today, and the island reaches 13 times its inhabitant size in tourists every year, and those tourists generate $419 million in expenditure of leisure.
Some of our CBD experiences include puff and paint, yoga, CBD cooking classes, and even setting up a private CBD bar at your own private event.
We have built a full specs business plan. There's a profit forecast for the first 5 years, where we even reach slightly past our break-even point. We have a more detailed breakdown of our operational costs as well. We will offer a safe, legal, and unique way to experience CBD. These experiences will intertwine with the local culture and the artists of today.
We are partnering up with a local hotel to offer these experiences to tourists and locals alike, and we will be the first ones to bring this model to the island. Our true edge is the experiences. We are selling moments, not just CBD products. This video will help you visualize our experiences.
Yes.
So you spoke at the beginning about CBD not getting you high and speaking to the pain aspect of it. So the yoga and the massage piece of this makes sense to me. But then there's the puff and paint and the cooking, which used words like intoxicating and edibles, which are definitely associated with the THC experience. I don't know where there's a question mark there somewhere.
As far as the cooking, CBD is non-psychoactive. It just makes you feel relaxed. It's like having a glass of wine. So you would just have to come and try it, and yeah.
And also keep in mind that the CBD that we're going to be focusing on is derived from the cannabis plant, but there's only 1% THC. That's why it's non-psychoactive. It's because of the minimum THC that it has in
I was
it.
speaking more to the idea that the impression is given around the intoxication and the alluding to edibles, which I know there's a huge tourist market in terms of the THC experience, which is different from what we would be offering here.
So it's still an edible because it's derived from this THC plant, and like we mentioned, other CBD plants we can use as well. So it's still an edible because it's using the THC, but it's at 1%, so it lowers the inhibition.
And the reason why we also offer edibles is some people aren't comfortable with smoking. So we still want them to come and experience the CBD experiences that we're offering.
We also have some CBD tea if you would like to try some. Yeah?
Sure.
Awesome.
Just a question while you're handing out the tea. So is this idea solely based around having a brick and mortar store, or are you open in the meantime to being a vendor? And
we will be launching online, and also we are partnering up with a local hotel that is willing and offering us to use their site for these experiences. Yes. So we're very excited about that.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the fact that you were able to use it for its medicinal use. It was able to stop your headaches, and you've now taken it to the leisure aspect. But would you continue to target the medicinal?
Absolutely. So that's the wonderful thing about CBD. It can be seen as recreational and medicinal. So that's why we have the two revenue streams. So if you just want to come into the store and get your CBD product, or do you want to explore the CBD and have an excursion, have the cooking classes, learn more about it, then it's your choice.
Got it, I love it.
And we will also have a live entertainment, DJs, poetry nights, comedy nights there.
Okay, when can I sign up?
We'll be launching April 14th.
All right, I'll expect my invitation in the mail.
Thank
you. And we would like to host Bermuda's first CBD convention.
Okay.
By any chance, will we be able to smell those?
Of course.
Thank you.
Michelle,
yes.
Am I pronouncing your name right?
Yes.
Michelle. You said you're going to be launching online, and I see you've got your website there. So it's going to be an online market I could order, and you will deliver it to me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So just piggybacking off of what Jonathan said, and you're going to be doing delivery. Is it discreet?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Strictly confidential.
Okay.
Nobody's business.
Like you're going to deliver it to me and nobody knows that it's CBD in there?
Yes.
Okay.
I think this is a fantastic idea. I think it's unique. I also think that it's the blind side that Bermuda needs. It offers something different, not just to locals, but to visitors as well. And I do believe that you have the opportunity here to create both a local and international experience.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
This model was showing people that are so against THC that we can have a dispensary and do it in a classy way. Exactly. We can pave the way, show them.
I think that the way that you may get more uplift from the community in regards to acceptance of your product and service would definitely be on the medicinal side.
Yes.
I was a little taken aback that I'm in the older age bracket that you had up on the screen. But aside from that, I think that definitely promoting it from both sides equally, if not more so from the medicinal side, will help you in the beginning stages of getting the uplift that you need in order to make it a success.
Thank you.
If I could ask one more, sorry, because I actually, and your video is beautiful, so I was very, I think like Delight, I'm also waiting for my invitation, because I was kind of in the video. Can you just go over the financial requirements again for me?
So we expect in our first year to make over $360,000, which will break our break-even.
surpass that, and then every year thereafter, 100,000 increasing.
Okay.
Any more questions?
I have one more. Okay, so the legislation didn't pass this year about actual cannabis proper. But if it is passed next year, that allows you to sell actual cannabis and have cannabis cafes like you have in Amsterdam. Is your business model set up to incorporate that once it's?
Yes, we will pivot and do both, because we have people that are into CBD and also people that are into THC.
So how do you differentiate the difference between the two? Like, what if I like CBD, but I don't want to come to your shop and be doing this around people that indulge in cannabis?
Yeah, we would differentiate the cafes. So
Okay.
Separate.
Okay.
Our CBD store will be separate from if we go into the THC market. And we want to say, other countries are doing this where THC is illegal, and they have CBD cafes, and they are booming and working. Open up other locations. We have Instagram, you can look at Seed and Bean, they're doing very, very well. Japan, we want of them. Yeah.
Tell me that name again? Seed and
Bean.
Like the ceiling?
Yes, S-E-E-D and Bean.
Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Show you guys. You have
This is how you go, wait,
Masks.
Excuse me, ladies. I really want you to show off your style. Because you know I know.
So do you want to do
What you say? What did you say?
Megan?
No.
Oh, I thought you were cheers. You passed it, got you. I like cheers.
Yeah, what did you say? No. Oh,
I'm smart.
How's the tea?
You have to push crazy on me, okay? And it leaves a little mark.
Oh. Like a Neanderthal over here, like, ooh.
And one we had is called Cedar. See, I ended up.
I do have to ask you to.
Yes, ma'am. I know you.
Please leave your pens.
The pen is there. Hold on now. The names have something to do with what's infused. Like when you say something and look what it's just. Gotcha. That's okay. Hold on, I gotta give this outfit. I am so excited. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
And the opportunity to pivot, and thanks for letting after, because, you know.
We appreciate that there's misinformation that was shared.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Come on, bro. I got you. What are they?
Set up the tape for me. Exciting times.
New to the Rocket Pitch competition, up next we have the Pitch Food and Beverage category, sponsored by Bacardi Limited. This category was created to support opportunity for local entrepreneurs to share their innovative and fresh food beverage business ideas. Its aim is to bring life to dining and entertainment experiences that make moments matter for customers. We will see pitches from our finalists that are related or contribute to the food and beverage industry in Bermuda.
Do you want more of the F word?
Yes. Fun.
It's proven. The more F's you have, the healthier you'll be. Of course, I'm talking about free. Food and beverages that are free from artificial ingredients, free of GMO, free of refined sugars, and free of junk you don't need and you don't want in your body. I want to help you be free from all of these. My name is Craig Smith. I'm the owner of the Greenhouse Bermuda, a distribution company in Bermuda providing delicious organic food and beverages. I purchased Greenhouse Bermuda 18 months ago. Since then, I've increased sales by 40% and currently have product in 14 accounts across the island. What do I bring to the table? Well, I've got 25 years of experience in the food and beverage industry, whether it be in the hotel, bar, and restaurant side, the distribution side, or even food tours, where you can see me here. Over the years, I've built a long list of strong relationships in the industry with whom I want to work with to continue bringing more organic food and beverages to the island to ensure a healthier community. Why do products need artificial ingredients, GMO, refined sugars, or other junk in them? They don't. Most of the artificial ingredients in products are fillers, which products put in them to make more money. Go ahead and compare my products to other products in the market. My products do not have ingredients such as sodium acid pyrophosphate, soy, high fructose corn syrup, modified cornstarch, yellow 6 or red 4, whatever these are. You can't pronounce some of these ingredients, let alone do you know what they are. Our ever-expanding warehouse receives, stores, sorts, and delivers products across the island. Over the last 18 months, we've built a strong foundation for the business in expanding our brand offerings by 25%, up to 82 different products, and increased our accounts from 11 to 14. It's now time for us to start scaling up and taking the business to the next level. This includes rolling out our subscription program, bringing even more new organic food and beverages to the island, hiring a salesperson, and expanding the footprint of our warehouse. Our financial plan from day one was that we'd invest directly into the business for the first 2 years. After this, the business should be able to fund itself. We've done this to a value of $40,000. We're actually on course to ensure that in the next 4 to 6 months, the business will be profitable. In the first year of operation, we concentrated on finding products for the market and also consolidating our shipments as much as possible to ensure best pricing. We have steadily increased our sales by 40% since purchasing the business 18 months ago, and we're expecting profitability, like I said, in the next 4 to 6 months. For any of you investors out there, there's an opportunity. 80 to 100 grand would fulfill all our current business goals, including expansions, warehouse, more products, more staff, and more vehicles. How would $5,000 benefit the Greenhouse Bermuda? Well, that's easy. It'd allow us to hire our first staff by first quarter of 2022, starting to allow us to start growing our team to service Bermuda better. Judges, I want you to enjoy the products in front of you that, of course, are free from artificial ingredients. Thank you for your time. I welcome your questions, and I look forward to your investment in the future health of Bermuda. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. So who currently is buying from you?
Well, most of the major grocery stores on the island, as well as convenience stores, as well as a hotel.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And
how do you determine the products that you're offering for them to buy?
That's a number of different things where 25 years of experience in the industry certainly has a huge part of that. Receiving samples and trying those samples for myself as well as other people, whether they're in the industry or other consumers, and getting their feedback from it. And also kind of seeing where those products are in the international market, if they're making it or not. Obviously, if it's growing in the States, then there's a good chance it's going to grow here.
Are you looking to make this a B2C type of company at all? You mentioned subscription. Was that subscription to consumers? So you'd like Greenhouse to be a consumer-facing name, not just B2B?
Yeah, it will certainly B2C. Our subscription program would be made up of bundles. So whether it's a keto bundle, a protein bundle, a grainless granola mix bundle, whatever. It would be set bundles specific to people's needs. Yeah.
And is that an online subscription base?
Well, I haven't rolled it out yet. So it's going to depend on the staff member, their capabilities, as well as the opportunities online as well. Yeah.
I am assuming that your snacks are probably at a higher price point than the average snack in the grocery store. Is that true? And if it is, how are you getting over that challenge?
Sure. So I address that a little bit in the artificial ingredients with the fillers that, in essence, bring the prices down of products, but actually make the companies more money. So yes, there is a premium price to organic, but what price are you going to put on your health? And also the more people that buy more organic products, eventually that price point will come down.
I had one more question about organic.
Sure.
I understood at one point that a product only needed to be 10% organic for it to be called organic. Do you know if that's true? And if so, how do you vet your products to be sure that they are actually the best in the market, considering that it's such a competitive market?
Sure, it is competitive, but in Bermuda it's actually not. I truly believe the organic category is completely underserved on the island. So a little bit contrary to what you're saying, I think there's huge opportunity for it. Internationally, I certainly believe other nations and other countries are getting on the bandwagon. So it's a matter of just making sure the products are as clean as possible. I get most of my products from North America. Where it's a little bit stricter, Europe's even more stricter. So, being organic in Bermuda is a little bit different than being organic in other countries because we're very close to highways, water lines, everything else. Where in the States, you have to be X distance away from a major highway to mitigate the pollution aspects.
And how quickly are you thinking, I'm still on the subscription thing a little bit because that's a nice little reoccurring revenue there. How quickly do you think you'd move into that versus kind of going B2B at this point?
Hopefully looking at first quarter of 2022. Right around the corner.
That's great.
Very good, Steve. Are we too chatty? Are we? We've got a great session.
Awesome, thank you.
people take getting buttered up.
No, I've been wanting to see this person before we started to face to.
Okay. Thanks, Doug.
Please don't jack that up. That's my mama's antique china.
I was just admiring it.
We have samples for you guys to take after.
I wish you could see. Yeah. Or at least like, just like What flavor did you get?
I have blue cheese and chocolate.
Ooh, steak butter. What flavor did you get?
Thai basil.
What is it? They're all different. I love it.
Well, good evening, judges. My name is Gavin Carter, and I am the CEO and founder of Gavin's Butter. Now, I would not be doing you justice if I did not allow you or take time to allow you to experience what hundreds, if not thousands, of people across the island are experiencing when they use Gavin's Butter. So I'm going to give you a few seconds just to experience it. And as you're doing that, I know you're probably wondering, how did this guy come up with this sublime product? But I was doing this for years, for myself. I took unsalted butter, and I've used fresh garlic and locally sourced herbs. And to date, I've come up with 17 delectable flavors. That's ranging from our signature herb medley, right down to our black rum and ginger. Even if you're not into whole butter, guess what? We have our vegan options, and those are just as tasty. For now, we manually mix each batch based on a 36-pound case of butter. That's for now. So you can rest assured that it's made with love. But again, who's worrying about that? You guys want to hear the numbers. Who's the market? Well, we started out with direct-to-consumer sales. Direct-to-consumer sales, we were very successful in that. That's actually what launched us into being a business, because we didn't have this plan from the beginning. We did little to no marketing for our product. It was word of mouth that launched us into our first grocery store in early December of last year. So to date, we are already in 10 stores, 10 major stores on the island. We've also partnered with other vendors who do food delivery, curated gift boxes. We've been approached by farmers markets. We ourselves want to get into the pop-up market, so pop-up tastings, pop-up retail. And then the goal is to graft ourselves into the restaurant industry. And why? Because the market research has proven that Gavin's Butter is a worthwhile purchase. And we can see that because it's confirmed by the frequency of our wholesale reorders and our steady direct-to-consumer sales. That's what people are able to do with our product. They're enjoying the kitchen experience now. So what are the projections? What's our forecast? Well, it costs us about $310 to make a batch of butter. That's going to yield a minimum of 72 units. Now, each of those, well, our herb medley and our rosemary and thyme, that's our signature flavors. That's what we started out with. Those wholesale for $8 each. Every flavor after that, wholesales for $10. We're making about 8 batches a month, which translates to about somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 per month. With your investment, though, we expect that we can double that. And how do we do that? By expanding on the wholesale market. There's still more grocery stores that we can get into. And boosting our presence on social media. We recognize that social media has a direct But what do we need to get there? We need to venture into these areas, we need to expand on innovation in tech. So the use of social media, we realize how the greater importance of social media. That's a key component into gaining potential customers and keeping the current customers that we have informed. We want to employ delivery platforms, for example, like Sargasso, so that we can cast a wider net on potential customers. We're actively working on a website as well, because we realize that the digital presence is of the utmost importance again. We need, and not just to show people about Gavin's Butter, but to show who we are as a company. And who we are as a company leads me to my next point. When we first started, someone brought up the point about what are you going to do with this? Okay. Any questions?
I have a question. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. The question on there, I mean, you have pretty good margins. Is the stability in the raw goods there in terms of, you don't make the butter, I'm assuming
I don't make
label
the butter,
purchasing
no.
it.
We purchase it, wholesale, and then we just
Okay.
put the flavors into it.
Okay,
Yes.
so as you continue to grow and scale, there's no concerns with...
There's no concerns with that, unless the boat stops coming in. Yeah.
Let's hope not.
I hope not, yeah.
So I have
Yes.
a question. When it comes on to moving to the next platform base, when you go to restaurants and attacking the caterers and all that stuff, would you be considering bigger packaging?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like
This is what we've been able to do thus far. The team consists of me and my wife, that's it. So we're spending long hours and long days creating this product. So what we found is this is what we can manage at this point. Again, that's the reason why this investment opportunity is good for us, because we can start to expand. And when I mean expand, I'm talking about personnel.
It's very, this is going to be a funny one for you. I use your product very well all the time.
Yeah, you heard.
So it has reached, you say it will reach, it has reached the catering market already. You have quite a bit of people that actually is using your product when it comes on to even plate presentations and stuff like that. So when it comes on to even the presentation wise for, like, say, other local businesses who want to package it into their product or sell it into their little giveaway packages, that's something that you can kind of tie in, like the Christmas baskets and stuff like that. You want to kind of elevate yours to different packaging. So the pawn packages or tubings where I can just slice it and make it very decorative. Think of different ways like that.
So this is not the only packaging that we have.
Right.
So we have a 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce, and then this is our 8 ounce and 10. We've also thought about combining some of those sizes as well. So gift baskets and things like that. So I do take your point, and that's something that we have looked into.
Perfect.
As you look to scale up, sounds like you're doing everything manually now in terms of mixing the butter. Are you looking at automating it in any way?
Indeed.
So that it's not
Indeed.
just you and your wife?
There's no way that this arm's going to be able to keep doing this here. We just can't keep doing it. So we're going to have to, as the demand grows, we're going to have to scale.
Okay. And have you sourced what equipment would kind of meet your needs?
We're doing a lot of research now on things like mixers, bigger like microwaves, stuff like that, the containers that we use in order to process the butter. We're doing a lot of research on that now.
Okay.
We definitely have a lot of younger hands as well that you can kind of incorporate into that mixing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of people that can do that. But yeah, very good next deal.
And as you look to grow, what is your targeted marketing plan to exactly to reach into those other markets like the grocery stores and like is there an idea maybe for setting up tastings in the grocery stores so that the consumer can like immediately get hooked, not just pass it?
I'm so glad that you asked that. So we're considering an idea to move into one of the main grocery stores, Dallas. So if we can get marketing behind that, I would consider giving them the product at cost, because then we won't have to worry about those marketing costs. And I think it would be beneficial to both parties to do that. And again, like you said, the customer is, they're going to actually get it right there and then, get the product right there and then.
So one other thing, right, I want to mention was a lot of people tend to move on to seasons. Do you have any progression for your growth to go into seasonal options as well? So like say the Bermuda cherry that's around here, or the loquats, are you looking to do some type of infusions with that as well?
Those ideas have come up, and we've entertained those things, because again, we've had so much success with this product. I think it would be, again, I'd be remiss in my duty if I didn't explore those things. Yeah.
You got my.
Yeah. And again, I'm, like yourself too, I enjoy the culinary experience. So exploring, experimenting with different flavors, I love doing that. So definitely.
Any other questions?
What point in your growth trajectory do you see when you have to move it out of your house and start doing it? Find a space for the machinery and things like that.
Yeah, we're kind of bulging at the seams right now.
So you're ready.
So we're ready to move. It's just a matter of getting that capital so that we can do that.
And if you win the pitch, do you have a specific use for that? The money that you're looking for?
Definitely. The website. And like I said, we want to get into the pop-up market. I want to get myself a nice tent, pop-up tent with advertising and everything on it, so that we can take that island-wide and everybody's going to know who we are.
I wish you all the best, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The judges have gone off to deliberate, but the show goes on. We are asking you, our audience, to get out your phones and cast your vote for the People's Choice Award. It is your time to let us know who your top pitch of the evening is. The People's Choice Award will be awarded to the finalist that gets the most audience votes. All you have to do is follow the link below and cast your vote. The People's Choice winner will receive a free champagne brunch for two, courtesy of the Hamilton Princess Hotel and Beach Club.
Good evening, and thank you everybody for tuning in. It has been a really exciting night of pitches, and we are excited to announce the winners. So first, we are going to announce the People's Choice Vote Award, and the winner of this award has received 29% of the votes and will receive a marketing package from Cosmic and a champagne brunch for two courtesy of Hamilton Princess. So the winner of that is Gavin's Butter. In second place, we have Pressure Till We Perish. Category is Bookspace. Our next category is Pitch Tech, and in second place we have GPS.
Thank you.
I know.
And for first place, we have Playdates. Our next category, we have Pitch Pink, and the second place winner is Pink Sand Sanctuary. Which means our first place Pitch Pink winner is Rose Sharon. Great job. Our first place winner for Pitchtown is Uplift. Our next category is Pitch Food and Beverage, and the second place winner is Greenhouse Bermuda. Which means our first place winner for food and beverage is Gavin's Butter.
I'm unsteady.
We will be having closing remarks from our Executive Director, Ms. Amika Smith.
Okay, guys, I'm not going to keep you long. I mean, let's give a round of applause to everyone. You did. Well, listen, we are truly excited to be celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week with over 180 countries. Bermuda is collaborating with 20,000 partners worldwide. There are over 40,000 activities celebrating entrepreneurship, and it's all with the goal of removing barriers for entrepreneurs and welcoming all of you to this entrepreneur experience. Overall, GEW is a significant event that takes place every year and is impacting 10 million people worldwide. I want to say thank you, first and foremost, to the Premier for those opening remarks. I want to say thank you to Bacardi for hosting us in this fantastic, inspirational space. Yes. Thank you to all the judges for participating in what I am sure was probably a difficult job selecting a winner. Thank you to the sponsors for supporting with the incredible prizes to help each and every business. Without those sponsors, we couldn't do that. And thank you to my BDC team, Kelsey, as the leader of this event, Jamila, Deshawn, and all of the rest of the team supporting. And especially because this year we introduced a new category, food and beverage, that was sponsored. But I also have to say Without risk, there is no reward, and you have risked it all tonight, showing the best of who you are and the impact that you can make in Bermuda and outside our shores. With your creative, innovative, and distinctly Bermudian pitches tonight. Entrepreneurship in and of itself is not for the faint of heart. You know this. But the last 20 months have been especially trying for entrepreneurs and business owners due to COVID-19 and the global pandemic. And yet, in spite of it all, you have embraced the entrepreneurial mindset and visions to launch startups in what can be classified as an uncertain economic climate. Kudos to you. Well done to each and every one of you. I firmly believe that entrepreneurs are the solvers of the world's problems. And so there is a level of comfort seeing each of you here tonight pitching solutions for Bermuda. From the youngest entrepreneurs to the more seasoned, Bermuda's future is in great innovative hands. We are encouraged by what we have seen tonight and how our island's businesses have shifted in this new normal, whether it be building on an online presence or introducing an innovative business model. If there is one thing I know about entrepreneurs, it's that you are resilient. That resilience is the key to your success. Don't be deterred. Don't be sideswiped by naysayers. Don't let your fear determine your future. Sarah Blakely, the founder of the women's retail brand Space, once said, "Don't be intimidated by what you don't know." That could be your greatest strength and ensure that you do things differently from everyone else. So learn from what you don't know. Be curious, be fearless. No matter what, please know that the EDC team is here to support you. Together, we will continue to press on through this pandemic and beyond. And so, as we close tonight, please know that this is not the last event for GW, it's the beginning. And I want to encourage you guys and the public to support us with the BEDC Business Awards taking place on Saturday, the Women's Entrepreneurship Day Conference pre-brunch taking place on Sunday, and next week Friday for the all-day Women's Entrepreneurship Day Conference. I would encourage everyone to log on to GW.BM to see all the events all month. Please join us in celebrating Bermuda's fantastic and fast-growing entrepreneur ecosystem. Thank you and well done.
Thank you for participating in what has been a fabulous event. Congratulations to all of our finalists. We would like to take a moment and say a huge thank you to our sponsors, partners, and the BEDC team, but most importantly to you, the entrepreneurs, the risk takers, and the dream builders. We salute you and encourage you to continue along your journey knowing that BEDC is here for support. To our sponsors, a sincere, heartfelt thank you, as we could not do this without your continued support. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of your night.